Hello students, today we will start with human circulatory system. So before entering into that, we will deal with something called circulatory pathways. What are circulatory pathways means? The pathways which carry the substances from heart to other parts of the body. For the circulatory pathways is of two types, open circulatory system, closed circulatory system. What is open circulatory system is the blood flows from the heart directly to the body cavities. These body cavities may also called as sinuses. These body cavities may also called as sinuses. So this comes under the open circulatory system. Okay, then closed circulatory system. There are specialized vessels which carry the blood to and from the heart. So this is closed circulatory system. Open circulatory system, direct flow to the body tissues or body cavities. So these cavities is known as sinuses. Okay. So examples of open circulatory system is arthropod, mollusks. And if you see closed circulatory system, annelids, chordates. Okay. In the heart, we have different chambers. In different organisms, the chambers varies. So if you take fishes, we have two chambers, that is they undergo only one circulation, that is single circulation. How means, if you see here, this is the heart, one ventricle, one atria. So this is the body tissues. Okay. So here and goes to the gills, rejoins and comes to the ventricles. Okay, now the blood goes to the heart only once, goes here, oxidized here, that is the deoxygenated blood is exchanged in the gills, and the oxygenated blood comes to the body tissues, and from these tissues the blood goes to the atria and ventricles. That is only one pathway. So the fishes have only one circulation with no mixing, that is they directly flows, correct, no mixing. But if you take amphibians, they mix, though they have three chambers but they are mixed. Then chordates, they are highly evolved, that is they have four chambers, two atria and two ventricles. So they have double circulation. The flow of blood in this chordates will be like this. So from the heart away, okay, keep this in mind, away from the heart the artery takes a away, artery takes the blood away from the heart and divides to form arterioles, and further divides to form capillaries. These capillaries then gives the deoxygenated blood to the venules, and this venules again rejoins to form veins. This veins to the heart, away, this is to the heart, that's it. This is the flow of blood in the chordates. Then we will move to the human circulatory system. The major organ is heart. The location of heart is thoracic cavity and it is protected by pericardium. This pericardium is of three layers, that is outer parietal pericardium, inner visceral pericardium. Between these two we have something called pericardial fluid. They act as shock absorber for the heart. They protect this fluid, protects the heart. So heart is mesodermally derived. Okay, mesodermally derived organ, important. So heart is mesodermally derived organ. Then some definitions we should know. They are interatrial septum. What is interatrial septum? Keep this in mind. Septum means divider. Okay, septum means divider. The divider between atrias. So the heart, atria and ventricle, atria and ventricle. The septum between this is interatrial septum. Septum between two arteries, atrias. Then interventricular septum means the septum between these two, that is divides ventricles. Divides right and left atria means interatrial septum. Divides right and left ventricles means interventricular septum. And atrioventricular means you should now be able to find this, that is the septum between atria and ventricles. But to know one thing is, this atrioventricular septum has some openings. I will tell further. These openings are tricuspid and bicuspid. Okay. Why they have named as tricuspid and bicuspid? The right side of the atria has tricuspid opening to the ventricle, and left side of the atria has bicuspid opening to the ventricle, left ventricle. So tricuspid means they are looking like this, that is they open and close the middle portion, rejoins, open and rejoins like this. They look like this, three gates like. If you take a bicuspid wall, there are two gates like this. They open and close. So right side have tricuspid and left side have bicuspid. What are semilunar walls means? They lie near the arteries. Okay, they are the openings to the ventricles. Openings to the ventricles. Okay. Openings to the ventricles means when the pressure is increased in ventricles, they should push the blood to some gate. That gate is semilunar valves. This semilunar valves leads the blood to the arteries. Okay, so the left atrium receives the blood from pulmonary veins, that is veins means to the heart. Okay, pulmonary veins. This is exceptional case. Why? Because veins carries only deoxygenated blood, but pulmonary veins carry oxygenated blood because they comes from the lungs. Lungs gives the oxygenated blood. So pulmonary veins is an exceptional case, and right atrium receives the blood from superior and inferior vena cava and coronary sinuses. I uploaded a video about coronary sinuses. Please refer to that. Next, so pacemaker of the heart. So the heart is not directly regulated by the brain. The regulator is sinoatrial node. What is sinoatrial node means? The specialized cardiac muscle. They are nodal tissues. Okay, nodal tissues. What are nodal tissues? Specialized cardiac muscles. They are located at the right corner of the right atrium. Okay, right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. Here is sinoatrial node. So then this sinoatrial node creates the heart to pump 70 to 75 times per minute. How much? 70 to 75 times per minute. Okay, on an average we take as 72 times. Okay, so the sinoatrial node is located at right corner of the right atrium, and this sinoatrial node initiates the function of the heart, the pumping of the heart, and sends the message to the atrioventricular node. Here, the atrioventricular node is located at the left corner of the right atrium. Atrioventricular node, AV node. First initiator is SA node. The second, this SA node leads to the AV node. And further, this AV node forms a bunch called atrioventricular bunch. Why? They follows the path of atrioventricular septum. Here they joins like this and flows, and then comes to the interventricular septum. Okay, interventricular septum, and then further moves down. Here itself, immediately as soon as when they enter to the interventricular septum, they divides as two branches. Okay, and then flows like this, and they give rise to some fibers, short fibers. Okay, so now the sinoatrial node gives the impulse to here, atrioventricular node, and this atrioventricular node gives to the atrioventricular bundles, and this atrioventricular bundles, when reaches the interventricular septum, divides to form bundle of his. Okay, bundle of his, and this bundle of his raises to form Purkinje fibers. Okay, so how is this impulse is generated? See this pathway, sinoatrial node, and then atrioventricular node, and then AV bundle, and this AV bundle to bundle of his. Okay, bundle of his to Purkinje fibers. You should know this pathway. Okay, be clear with this pathway. Okay, that's it about the pacemaker of the heart. Okay, we will now move on to the cardiac cycle. Now we are ready to see cardiac cycle. We know all the terms and definitions to read about cardiac cycle. Okay, phase of contraction is also known as systole, and phase of relaxation is also known as diastole. Okay, now I drawn this like lines, correct, dotted lines. This is the contracted position of the heart, and this is the relaxed position of the heart. Okay, what are pulmonary veins? Pulmonary veins pour the blood to which side of the heart? Left side. So left side, they pour the blood to the left side, and vena cava pour the blood to the right atrium. Okay, then if they pour the blood content increases here, so the pressure also increases. So pressure increased, so that they need to reduce the pressure, correct, they need to reduce the pressure. So they try to pull the blood, push the blood to some place through some pathway. So pressure increase in the atria. So pressure increase, after pressure increase, the atrioventricular valves, that is the tricuspid and bicuspid valves, open. But in this situation the semilunar valves are closed. They need not to open because they are the gate for ventricles. Now only the atrium is increased in pressure, so they need gate. The gate for atrium is atrioventricular valves. So this type of closed and opening position leads to 30% of blood to flow to the ventricles. So sinoatrial node generates potential. So the joint atrial contraction, both the atria contract with a time interval of 0.1 second. Okay. Now the atria is in relaxed state because they pour the blood to the ventricles. Then pressure decreases in atria and pressure increases in ventricles. So the pressure is decreased. Don't need not to open the gate. So atrioventricular valves are closed. Then semilunar valves are open. Why they are open? Because they are the gate of ventricles. So ventricles are in increased pressure state, so they need to pour the blood, so they are opened. And then now the ventricles are in relaxed position because they pushed the blood to the arteries, and then pressure decreases. Again, if here pressure decreases, then semilunar valves close, and then atrioventricular valves open. Then this is the cycle, the next cycle. So till this one cycle completed, here the second cycle starts. So pulmonary artery takes away the blood from the heart to the lungs, and then aorta to the body tissues. Okay, per cycle these things are happening. So heartbeat 72 times on average we took, correct? So one cardiac cycle up to this we had 70 ml of blood in the aorta. So 70 ml of blood is a product of one cardiac cycle. So what is stroke volume? Stroke volume. Okay, stroke volume is heart rate into cardiac output, per cardiac output. So we get here the answer as 5040 milliliter. On an average we take 5000 ml. The value of stroke volume per cardiac cycle is 5000 ml. Okay, that is the amount of blood flowed in one cycle is 70 ml. Then 72 times the sinoatrial node generates potential per minute. So per minute the stroke volume is 5000 ml. Okay, we will see per cycle time interval. I told joint atrial diastole, to take 0.1 seconds, and then ventricular systole. Okay, ventricular systole. Ventricular systole means ventricular contraction. Joint ventricular contraction takes 0.3 seconds. Then this majority of the time phase is complete cardiac relaxation, that is 0.4 seconds. What is this? The least one is atrial diastole and the middle one is ventricular systole, ventricular contraction. Sorry, this is atrial systole. I told as systole only. So atrial systole takes 0.1 seconds and ventricular systole takes 0.3 seconds, and total cardiac diastole takes 0.4 seconds. Children, please note this. So I will write it separately. Joint atrial systole takes 0.1 seconds and ventricular, I am writing the joint condition, keep that in mind. Ventricular systole takes 0.3 seconds. First, second, third one is joint diastole of both. It takes 4 seconds, that is 0.4 seconds. Totally we have 0.8 seconds. Okay, this is the map of time interval of cardiac cycle. Okay, we will see now the heart sound. It is very easy. The first sound is also known as lub and the second sound is also known as dub sound. What is lub? When is the lub sound is created means atrioventricular walls close, the lub sound is created. Semilunar walls close means dub sound is created. So the closure, this closure makes the sound, the lub sound, and this closure makes the dub sound. When this close, when the ventricular contract. When this ventricular contract, when a diastole, that is the arterial diastole takes place. So arterial diastole takes place means atrioventricular walls close, and here the dub sound is beginning of ventricular relaxation, and this is the low pitch sound. We hear a very less sound, but we hear very high pitch. High pitch means we hear loudly, and long duration, it takes somewhat bit duration, and here it reduces small duration. So this is about heart sound. So we completed thoroughly with the human circulatory system. Thank you. For more videos, subscribe our channels.